people seem to have to see me as an angry teenager who condemns every individual's behavior, which is kind of funny to me.
And you're not that person?
No.
What's the difference between that person and who you really are?
There's a big difference. Yeah, I'm not an angry teenager. I probably don't take life seriously enough, like in private.
Oh, really, Greta? Did you happen to forget about this?
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nasser, the doctor of the democracy, the MD of the Republic, just giving you a little bit of a tease, folks, of our favorite climate activist, right? Greta Thunberg, the village idiot of climate change. She's back. And I just wanted to give you a little snippet there in terms of what's going on with Greta Thunberg, why she's back inside here. Going to come back and give you a little bit more of that video flavor just to sort of put it back in perspective. Remember, about 3 years ago, this is from the United Nations where she said, "How dare you? How dare you?" Now she's trying to basically reposition herself, all right? Come out as this really nice, lovable, enjoyable, huggable, person trying to reinvent herself, Greta Thunberg, 2.0 in this interview with BBC. And I'm going to play back that interview. I'm going to do a little reaction video to that. But as I said before, on this show here, I give you my diagnosis, I give you my prognosis, the analysis. You don't need a copay. You don't need to be vaccine. You don't need a mask, folks. All you need to do is, if you haven't done so before, is subscribe to the channel, like and share us with your friends, hit that notification button so you get all of our latest videos. And without further ado, let me go ahead and continue with the next cut, which is going to be Greta Thunberg at the United Nations. And I'll bring that cut to you right now.
Has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight. You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that
So I just wanted to play for you that cut of the speech that Greta Thunberg gave back in 2019. I believe it was in September, in front of the United Nations, in front of the whole world. Remember when she just galvanized everybody? She was mobilizing students. They were saying like millions of students around the world, also in these third world countries like in Africa, the continent of Africa, and all over in Europe, in Asia, obviously in the United States, in Canada. I mean, all these Western countries, all across Europe, like we talked about. Remember what she was saying? How everybody was just basically, genuflecting and bowing at the feet of the new messiah, of the climatologists, of these climate activists, of this religion of what I call climatology. Remember all that stuff was happening? The students were marching out of their schools. They were, putting their hands up in the air. Yeah, go Greta, that's right. We need to get rid of, fossil fuels. We need to get rid of, coal. We need to get rid of gas. We need to get rid of everything. All we want is just solar and wind. That's it. I mean, that was it. Get rid of oil, get rid of shale, get rid of everything that you can think of that's linked to fossil fuels. That's what this whole thing was about. And remember, we were talking about how mean and I mean, downright the way that she was wagging her finger at everybody and scolding us. Now she wants us to think, and we're going to play a cut of the BBC interview in just a few seconds to show this new lovable, huggable, this really nice Greta Thunberg, 2.0, that, what? I'm not an angry teenager. That's not me. I don't know why in the world people think that way. I don't care what other people do at all. They can do whatever they want. It was just my opinion. That's all I was saying. People can do what they want. I'm not telling them to change their lives. Oh, really? That's not what you were trying to do? Well, listen, I'm going to now finish up that cut from that BBC interview, and then we're going to continue through with my reaction to it as well.
People seem to have to see me as an angry teenager who condemns every individual's behavior, which is kind of funny to me.
And you're not that person.
No.
Stop. All right. You see this? See how they're sort of doing this right now? Look at this. They're just sitting laid back, nice scenery in the background, open, everything, right? She's there just in a, just regular, just in, a t-shirt, some slacks, looks like she got some Crocs on or some Dutch, shoes or whatever. And just laid back on the BBC network, right? And he's asking the question, what's going on here? Do you think that you're that person? And she's giggling, saying, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, just to go back and listen to this again, folks, just listen. I mean, you've got to hear this thing and listen to this again.
People seem to have to see me as an angry teenager who condemns every individual's behavior.
Stop. They just see her as an angry teenager? Well, what did you expect when you gave that speech back there, when you wagged your finger at the entire world and saying, how dare you? How dare you? How double dare you? What else did you expect? Let's continue on.
Which is kind of funny to me.
And you're not that person.
No.
What's the difference between that person and who you really are?
There's a big difference. Yeah. I'm not an angry teenager. Yeah, I am.
Could have fooled us. You're not an angry teenager. Could have fooled us, Greta Thunberg. The village idiot speaking again. She is definitely the messiah for the science of what we call climatology, folks, the Church of Climatology. Let's continue.
I probably don't take life seriously enough.
Oh my God. You've got to be intercoursing kidding me. You don't take life seriously enough? Every single time that you open up your mouth and the verbal diarrhea that comes out of it, it's always about, guess what? The planet's going to die. Humans are going to be extinct. There's not going to be enough food or water. The sea levels are going to rise. The mountains, the snow from the mountain caps are going to come, rushing down and just completely tsunami-ize the entire world on the low-level plains, right? We're not going to have anybody. I mean, it's over. You made a prediction, okay, that the extinction was about to occur quickly, and that was 3 years ago. What extinction are you intercoursing talking about? You babble so much. There's so much. I mean, it's just to begin with the amount how these and look at what's happening right now because of a teenager. This is the danger, folks. A teenage messiah was telling these government officials that they need to get rid of fossil fuels. And look at what we're hearing now that's possibly going to happen in Europe, in France, in Germany, in England, as the cold winter, comes near. They're not going to be prepared for it because many of these countries just went overboard, okay, on this whole green energy fraudulent, fiasco that they did. It's unbelievable. And now, guess what? People are going to pay the price because their governments listen to a retard and a moron and an idiot and a demagogue and a fraudster and a huckster, and she's being used by the propagandists of this climate change. And then I think she's using them and they're using her, folks. That's exactly what's going on. Let's continue.
Private. Yeah.
Do you find it weird then that you have this reputation for being
Yeah,
as you?
it is really funny, actually.
It's really funny. It's so funny that I have this reputation for being so mean-spirited and a reputation for telling people what to do and a reputation for basically saying that the earth is gonna, is gonna be extinct. I have a reputation for being a doomsday prophet. I just have a reputation for that. I don't know where that comes from. I have no idea.
Find it funny because why? It just seems so untrue to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the people I care about, who I meet, they know that it's not me.
The only people that you meet, Greta Thunberg, the people that you meet are going to the same freaking intercoursing church that you're going to. They're reading from the same gospel of crap that you're reading from. The manifesto of climatology, the manifesto of this church of climatology. That's who you're meeting with. Whenever you meet anybody else that basically says you're full of crap, well, then obviously you turn to Greta Thunberg 1.0, the Greta Thunberg that we all have come to know. The Greta Thunberg who is a messiah for the science and the church of climatology. Let's continue.
And if I meet people personally, they can see that I'm not angry.
Oh, of course she's not angry. Not at all. She's not angry at all, folks. No way she's not angry at all. Nothing like that. Anyways, folks, we really appreciate you watching the show. You've been watching the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. I'm your host, the Doctor of the Democracy, the MD of the Republic, Dr. Nasser. And if you haven't done so already, we certainly hope that you subscribe to the show. Hit that notification bell for more videos. We have so many videos that are up, folks, coming up on the midterms, the elections, all the stuff that you want to know about. It's right here on the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. And I'll leave you with my final thought. And this is particularly to Greta Thunberg. Guess what, Greta? When you're right, and I am. But Greta Thunberg, when you're left, oh my God, you are so wrong, Greta Thunberg. You are so wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Stay safe and take care.